program. My name is Kevin Doyle, and I'm with the SNPS headquarters. Today we're going to be discussing the certification program, the Certified Professional Services Marketer program that is, and what's happening today. There are some changes to the program, but there are also some parts that are staying the same. So let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to discuss is the SNPS domains of practice. Based upon the 2013 role delineation survey, the candidates who will be tested on the CPSM exam will have to have a proficiency of knowledge of the following 6 domains of practice: marketing research, marketing planning, client and business development, proposals, promotional activity, and management. You know, I always tell people that if every professional services marketer out there has an understanding of these areas, again, the CPSM candidate must be proficient in these areas. The best way to do that is to study, of course, to do the reading. We'll be coming up to that on a few more slides. If you want to get a copy of the SNPS domains of practice, please go to www.snps.org. Under the certification tab, you'll see study materials, and under that, you'll see a list for the SNPS domains of practice, which you can download for yourself. It lists all the skill sets and knowledge areas, again, that professional services marketers need to know as they're preparing for the CPSM exam. Next, let's talk about eligibility. There's basically 3 ways to be eligible for the CPSM exam, and again, this has not changed. If you possess a bachelor's degree or an advanced degree, as let's say a master's degree or some such, you will need 4 years experience in professional services marketing and/or business development. Just as a reminder, that experience does not have to be in the AEC industry. If you've been doing marketing or business development for a legal firm, an accounting firm, IT, any other kind of professional services firm, that work applies, as does any college internships, paid or unpaid, as long as they relate back again to marketing and/or business development. So there's the bachelor's degree plus 4 years experience, or you can possess an associate's degree, and again, you'll need 6 years experience then in marketing or business development for firms providing professional services. Without any degree, which of course means a high school diploma basically, you'll need to have 8 years of experience in marketing or business development. We also ask you to agree to a pledge by the CPSM Code of Ethics, which can be found on the application. Again, for more information on this, you can go to www.snps.org under certification. Look to apply. That explains everything in more detail. The test. The test has remained the same. It is still 150 multiple choice questions. It's always A, B, C, or D. There's never E, none of the above, or F, all of the above. Total testing time is 3 hours. Here's a change. Starting June 1st, the online exam will be offered at PSI testing centers. PSI has testing centers around the globe, and there's more details coming up on how to find out where there's a testing center near you. Candidates will get to choose the date, time, the test center where they want to sit for the CPSM examination. So it's extremely flexible, and it's very much controlled by the candidate. Makes it easier for them, and makes the entire process hopefully more user-friendly. CPSM study group and exam prep. Well, I've been saying this now for years. Basically, we have synthesized it down to 3 sort of cardinal rules for all candidates to get ready for the test. 1 is to read the books on the suggested reading list. 2, join a local CPSM study group if they're available. CPSM study groups mostly happen at the SNPS chapters. Sometimes a group's firm will actually put together a study group. And then the final cardinal rule is to take your time. You got to take your time and do some studying. It's been shown time and time again that candidates who actually put the time in and do some studying are more successful on the exam. I mentioned earlier on bullet point number 1, to read the books. You can again find a suggested reading list of materials at snps.org, certification study. Professional Testing Corporation. This is the big change, and this is part of what we were discussing earlier. Professional Testing Corporation, which I'll refer to as PTC for short, is a psychometric agency. Psychometricians are professional test question writers, professional test developers, and we have had the sincere fortune to be able to partner with them to bring what we think is going to be a better test and ultimately a better program. They have literally decades of expertise in test development and delivery. They have an entire firm of people dedicated to making sure that the best possible program is put forward to create and deliver examinations that accurately demonstrate measure a candidate's knowledge. That's what it's all about. It all comes down to making sure that people who are knowledgeable in the areas of our domains of practice are able to take the test successfully. Those who are not knowledgeable will not be successful. It's built that way. It's built, again, to determine proficiency in those areas. They've got a psychometric, administrative, and technical staff that can help SNPS, the society as a whole, make informed decisions about the CPSM program. And of course, those people are also there to help individual candidates as they are proceeding through the process of becoming a CPSM. And again, they've subcontracted out with a group called PSI who offers have online testing centers around the globe. So there's always one that you can hopefully find near you. A little more about PTC. They've streamlined our online application process. They've taken a good look at our application and determined some ways to make things even simpler for candidates to help get to apply, register for the test. They have a downloadable handbook they put together to help candidates understand the application registration process. They've got a help desk team to answer any questions you might have that go beyond the handbook, or if you have other questions. There's also an FAQ section on their website for frequently asked questions if you want to have easy access to that. There's also a link to tips for candidates for online computer-based testing. This is a quick little sort of a breakdown, a one-pager that tells you just the how-to when you get to the testing center, what you're going to be in for, and tells you more about the computer-based testing and understanding it, so again, to take any sort of anxiety out of it. And finally, they offer special accommodations for candidates for those, if there's any kind of ADA compliancy needs. PTC completely supports that and will be there to help and assist in any way that they can. About the application and testing process, then, it's basically broken down here into a series of steps. Step one is to prepare and study for the CPSM exam. Previously, people would start their application first, but we're changing that now because the application and registration process really is going to be a one-step process. So the first thing people want to do is sit down and do some serious studying prep time. There's an online assessment test people can now take from SNPS, the national website. They can download that actually through the SNPS eCampus, which is under the Education tab. But I would say definitely put in some reading time, put in some study time, join a study group, find out what it's all about, and start doing your preparation and study before you actually go and apply. Once you have done your reading and your preparation, that's the time when you want to step forward and start looking at the application. Again, please review the CPSM handbook given to you by PTC, which is a downloadable PDF on their website. You'll submit your online application form. We mentioned earlier the eligibility requirements. If necessary, you can upload a copy of your college transcript or a notarized photocopy of your diploma. Again, this is all built into the online application. Your application will then be reviewed, and candidates will receive an eligibility notice from PTC. The eligibility notice is basically sort of the it's pulling the trigger, pardon the expression, on you being ready to take the test. When you have that, you'll be given 1 year after your application approval date and when you receive your eligibility notice to sit for the exam. So at that point in time, once you receive that, and there will be directions on there for how to find a PSI testing center near you. The eligibility notice really, again, is your sort of your confirmation, your admission into the test. And there's directions included in that eligibility notice that will explain anything you might need to know. There's a phone number to call for PSI centers if necessary, or again, contact PTC if you have any questions. But that's when you're basically ready to sit for the test. And again, you'll have one whole year after that application is approved to sit for the CPSM exam. Fourth step, of course, is to actually go and sit for the test at a PSI testing center. And again, you'll be given 3 hours to sit for the test and to answer the 150 multiple choice test questions. Candidates receive their examination score from PTC within 2 to 4 weeks. This you're going to receive through regular mail. So if you have any questions on that, you can always contact PTC or SNPS. But again, candidates get their exam results back within 2 to 4 weeks. Passing candidates then, of course, will receive their CPSM certificate, PIN, congratulatory letter from SNPS National President, materials on recertification, and they're off down the road as a CPSM. The fee schedule. As I mentioned earlier, there's always been 2 fees for the CPSM exam, an application fee and examination fee. For members, the application fee for some years now has been $245, non-members $350. The online examination fee has always been $275 over the past years, and $415 for non-members. So now at this point in time, we've combined those two fees for new candidates. They'll pay the entire fee of $520 if they're an SNPS member, $765 for non-members. Again, all fees, application and examination, are due with the submission of their application to Professional Testing Corporation. Now, there's a lot of folks out there asking the same question, Kevin, what if I've already applied but I haven't sat for the exam yet? You'll only have to pay the $275 examination fee. A lot of other folks are also asking, hey, what if I've already sat for the exam and I wasn't successful the first time and I want to take it again? Again, you'll pay what is basically the examination fee. We call it the retesting fee now, again, of $275 from SNPS members, $415 for non-members. So there's the fee schedule, and if there's ever any other questions on that, by all means, feel free to contact me here at SNPS. So let's recap. With PTC, Professional Testing Corporation, what's new? Candidates now complete the application process through Professional Testing Corporation's website. Candidates will receive their confirmation, i.e. their eligibility notice, to sit for the online test for PTC. Candidates will now access the PTC help desk with any questions, and of course you can always reach out to SNPS as well, but you have now you have two places to go to. And candidates will now sit for the exam at the PSI online testing centers. So again, not a whole lot of real new different stuff. The application is very similar to the one that they currently fill out. Instead of getting a confirmation notice from me, they'll receive it from PTC. And again, as opposed to trying to have to go out there and find a location and a proctor and chase all that down, it's all built for you. You go to a PSI online testing center, the test is waiting for you there. They have proctors in-house. It makes things just that much easier on the CPSM candidate. What's not new? Well, there's a couple of things I mentioned earlier. It's the same eligibility criteria. That's what I mentioned about the bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or without any formal degree, the years of experience you need. What else is not new is the application process. Again, I say it's not new. It's very similar to the one we currently have in place. It's to those who have already done it, and if they ever did it again, they would see it asks basically the same questions about education and work history. Very simple form to fill out. And again, PTC has helped to streamline that process. Same examination content. That's a big one. That's a big question a lot of folks are asking about. I mentioned earlier the suggested reading list you can download from the website. Those are the books you want to read to get ready for the test. The content has not changed. And of course, like I mentioned even on an earlier slide, still based around the SNPS domains of practice. Finally, again, the same test format, 150 multiple choice questions, A, B, C, or D. There's no E or F, none of the above, all of the above. All questions have one correct answer, or what is best to say, what is the most correct answer for the question. And again, 3 hours to complete the test. The test will only be offered in the online format at the PSI centers. There is no longer a paper test to take. We have kept the window open for the entire year, meaning candidates can take the test anytime they want. There is no selected dates. And so the best method for that is an online test. And this is the method that Professional Testing Corporation recommends and they feel is best for the CPSM exam. For additional resources, if you have there's a lot of frequently asked questions, please, again, go to www.snps.org for certification and certification of frequently asked questions. It covers a lot of the material I've already mentioned here today and a few other items that I may have missed. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to give me a call. I'm always here to answer questions. You got my toll-free number there, 800-292-7677, extension 232, or drop me an email, kevin@snps.org. Also, for any questions, like I said, reach out to the PTC help desk at 212-356-0660, or just email ptcny@ptcny.com. Well, that's it for today. I want to thank you all for attending today's program and listening in here on this recording. This will be posted to the SNPS website and available for future use. There may be new updated programs, new updated recordings put out in the coming weeks if there's any changes. But I want to thank you all for listening in today. My name's Kevin Doyle with SNPS headquarters, and I want to say thanks, and this program is now closing out. Thank you very much.